Hello, everyone. It's that time of the week again for Picard. Welcome back, guys. I gotta say, I'm not super excited to be here just because this episode, the more I watch it, the more I don't like it. This is the way. All right, well, let's get into this here. And I'm sure there's lots of things you guys want to talk about. Do that first. All right. So rarely right, but I said it in live earlier this week. The Watcher would be Laris. Everyone was like, why would it be Laris? Boom, because Kurtzman. It's not Laris, though. She's not a fucking Romulan. She doesn't have Romulan ears. It's not Laris. My guess is it's the supervisor, because Gary 7 was a class 1 supervisor. It's the supervisor's pet. Remember his little cat turned into a lady with a nice collar? I bet you that's what Laris is. She's actually the Comaloid shapeshifter, and she's there to make Picard feel better or something. I don't fucking know. Makes not much sense. Aegis portal, just saying. What the hell's an Aegis portal? It's a Gary 7 portal. So, if that's what you mean? Yeah, then yes. I didn't say that I enjoyed it. I said since the responses, I'll just keep to myself. You guys read about Guinan at least playing a role, even though she wasn't even the Watcher. But it's not even Guinan. She didn't even do a good job of emulating Guinan. So, love the punker in the bus. Yeah, that's Kirk Thatcher. He's actually, I've hung out with him a few times at Wonderfest. He wrote the lyrics for the song from the song he was listening to in Star Trek 4. And the lyrics for this one are different. They're like, it's now 35 years later, and da-da-da-da, and I still hate you, or whatever. So, Olivia, we have learned that instead of knocking people out, all you have to really do is ask someone nicely to turn off their music on a credit bus. This is the worst episode this season, I will say that. Christian Montgomery, $2. Rant alert, deck 10 forward, or an alley bar in LA. No one remember Picard and Guinan already met in 1800 San Francisco. Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that never happened, including Terry Metalis, or whatever the fuck his name is. He says, well, this is a different timeline. So, of course, they haven't met. It's not, though. Your fucking punk on the bus showed that. He went like this. He was uncomfortable. He didn't want to get pinched in the neck again. So, what? Of course, it's not a different timeline until April 15th when the change happens. Then it leads to the Confederation timeline. So, that's just some bullshit. The punk on the bus was nice for what? Mark Lawrence throws in $5. Wasn't bad. I laughed at the driving scenes taking place over the same shirt stretch of road by the Los Angeles Convention Center. I thought JJM screwed up Star Trek. Wow. Some Warrior DX. The thing is, even if it's a different timeline where it never happened, Guinan knows anyway. That's her thing. Yeah, I know. Cynical Optimist. I was hoping Rapians would ask Seven, how the hell do you know how to drive? And she would say, I spent a lot of time with Tom Paris, and we get a cool, fun car chase. I'm not saying that the cat is... Who the hell's Carrie 7? I'm not saying that at all. Maybe Confederation Kirk got some wills as well. Yeah, but Terry Metalis, or whatever the fuck his name is, Terry said, "Oh, the Federation was never formed." Well, if that's the case, then Kirk and Spock wouldn't have gone back in time. So you're wrong, 100%. So dumbass. It wasn't a bad episode. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fast pace. I enjoyed a lot of it. I think there was a little bit too much emphasis on the government aspect of things. That cops are bad, okay, and shit like that. But I don't know. I mean, the more I watch it, the less I like it. But it had its moments for sure. It had some good moments. Not the worst. No, I already met Picard at this point. Took me out of it though. Yeah. The driving scenes and the punk scene were the best parts of the episode. Are you kidding? They seriously explained Picard's English accent. Yes, and I like that. The Picard family moved to England. Like, yeah, because everybody's been bitching all these years about, oh, well, why does a French man have a British accent? Boom, explained. They even did a small little thing with Rios where, yeah, he's like this flesh and blood robot now, but I really don't understand because nobody can explain it to me. Wow, that's a fucking fan analog thing. Yeah, that's what we're all thinking. It just doesn't make much sense and it's never been properly explained, really. Fleet Paw throws in $2. That's unexpected and unfortunate. Actress wasn't much like 19th or 24th century guy, but we know why. She wears large hats. Wow. Did the fact that the arrow never seemed to happen bother you as much as it bothered me? It was still a good enough episode. Yeah, it did bother me quite a bit, but hey. Peter Lukaku, $5. So the Watcher has nothing to do with Agent 7 from TOS. Lots of inconsistencies. Does the Watcher not have anything to do with Agent 7 or Gary 7? Gary 7 was a class 1 supervisor. Guinan said the Watchers are supervisor. You got to talk to the supervisor. And basically goes through the same thing that Gary 7 said, that they're all throughout the galaxy just making sure things go well. So there's not a lot of inconsistencies. Even the portal at the end had the fog and like the doorway that Gary 7 would walk through in his office. So Q stole the entire episode right at the end. Did he though? Because I keep forgetting that Q was even in it. It was such a small thing. Chuck A has been a member for 25 months in the rank of commander. Could be the assignment Earth Watchers? Yes, it obviously is. The term supervisor, like I said, Gary 7 was a class 1 supervisor. And that portal effect perfectly jives with what we saw in Assignment Earth. So, New Guinan was like distractingly attractive. No, but okay. Eric says the Borg Queen provided coordinates to Guinan's place. What did Guinan have to do with the event? Not yeah. Well, Picard asked her not to leave the planet, so I have a feeling she's going to be able to help at some point. When Picard says his name, she recognizes him. It seemed like it, but at the same time, she had just said earlier in the episode, you tell me all this, but you can't even tell me your name. And he's like, well, it'll cause problems with the timeline or whatever. So I think that was just showing that he trusted her enough to actually say his name. So. The problem with modern Trek is its super slow explanation of what is happening, followed by a rushed solution. Old Trek gave us the problem, and then it was fun in the response. Oh, the Queen is going to play a bigger role. I'm sure of that, Joseph. Back when Generations came, I left a gun and does nothing to warn the Enterprise B crew about the Borg. Why would she warn the Enterprise B crew about the Borg? That makes no sense. If this is Confederation past times still, Times Arrow wouldn't have happened because it's still Confederation past until Picard can change the events and restore the timeline. Captain Casey Stewart, you're absolutely fucking wrong. As of this moment, April 12th that they're in, 2024, nothing has changed. After April 15th, if they don't follow the events, that leads to the Confederation timeline. As of right now, they are in the prime timeline where TNG and everything have happened already in the future. So, yeah, you're wrong on that one. Jace, they're connecting it to Assignment Earth. Yes. I'm betting she only recognized his last name because the lady at the end of the episode has the same last name. I mean, could be. Dr. Ronslin throws in $5. I feel like I would like this episode more if I was binge watching the season. Oh, for sure. That's one of the problems with the Treks with some of the episodes. But yes, I agree. The Time Zero thing makes no sense though because, and I hate you guy still remembers his encounter with time travel. Exactly. We have a video coming out about that. Pumpkin Spice, as bad as Discovery traveling to the Mirror Universe, find out that the USS Defiant, but not warning them. Peter Lukaku, $5. No heat on Serena, but the cloak works. Yeah. The April 15th event, someone forgot to file their income tax. The Elorians were refugees from the Borg destroying their homeworld. I understand that, Pumpkin Spice, but why would you say anything to Enterprise B when there's no chance that the Enterprise B is ever going to run into the Borg? You can't fuck with the time stream. Even if you know that the Borg are out there, you're not going to affect anything that they need to learn on their own. That's one of the things that the Elorians are not going to interfere. So why would they tell the Enterprise B about the Borg? Oh, by the way, there's an alien race out there that's in the Delta Quadrant that, could be a problem someday for you guys. You might want to be aware of it. Yeah. Joseph Cole, $5. Oh no, surely they didn't play all the cards in the first 3 episodes. So is Rios going to be Gabriel Bell's sanctuary, or is that... No, he's going to a sanctuary district on the Mexico border, so he's going to be at a different one. Plus, this is April. Cisco didn't arrive in 2024 until September. That's right when the Bell riots happened. So there's quite a few months between the two. Uh, 21st Street mission references make me think Rios will try to save the doctor and she's supposed to die. Yeah, I noticed the 21st Street mission as well. Yeah, he's going to... Rios is going to miss Cisco by months. Yes, absolutely. Guinan's not an agent. Where are you getting that from? Kriskma1. She is not an agent. So don't even know where you get that. She even said multiple times she's not the Watcher. So, if nothing changed, how's the Confederation lost Serena and they have Confederation phasers and badges? It's Confederation past. General Picard didn't meet Guinan. Oh, for the love of fuck. After the events of April 15th, that's what changes. They need to stop that event to make sure that the timeline doesn't turn into the Confederation. They came from the Confederation future back past the event. So, of course, the shit still exists. But once they change it, then it won't. That future won't exist. So, what they need... everything is the same up to this point. Human history is exactly the same. Picard went out of his way to say this is the same timeline. This is not an alternate reality. So that was when they were in the future. So even if they go back to the past, if the event that creates the Confederation future happens on April 15th, you go back to April 12th, nothing's different. So if that event hadn't happened, things would unfold exactly like they should. Time Zero would have happened and everything. After April 15th, Time Zero would never have happened because that future never existed. That's how it works. Shannon Nash, $5. I enjoyed the Roy Kirk reference at the end of the episode. A nice changeling deep cut. Sebastian, €2. Take a deep breath, Captain. Yeah, I need to. It's going to just get infuriating trying to explain to people that don't understand how timelines work, including the fucking runner of the show, Terry Matlis, or whatever the fuck his name is. Jesus Christ. They already showed that they're in the fucking timeline that leads up to the next generation because you saw the punk on the bus who was like, yeah, I'll turn that down. He didn't want to get his fucking Vulcan neck pinched again. Terry says, oh, this is, Time Zero never happened because this is the Confederation timeline, which means the Federation never existed. Well, if the Federation never existed, why are you showing a fucking punk on a bus that obviously had a Vulcan neck pinch? For Christ's sakes. Oh, fucking infuriating. I thought she would have seen since she knew him. Yeah, I thought she would have too. I guarantee the DS9 transporter accident will be caused by Picard. Let's see. I think you cracked it. They think they go back in time to save someone when the solution is to let someone die so history doesn't change. Yes, that's the thing. He keeps saying we need to stop an event from happening. No, I think you need to make sure that something happens instead. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a problem or miscommunication there. The episode and the last one totally could have been a single episode. Yeah, I think so too. Could be the Confederation timeline is the default one, and until April 15th, when Picard and company fix the problem, will Time Zero manifest in the timeline. Again, you have the same problem. Kirk and Spock have already gone back and messed with the punk, so even that doesn't make sense. It's a good idea. I like that it's the default timeline for the Confederation, but we need to do something to make the change to get the utopian future. But they done fucked it themselves by putting in the punk reference. So that argument holds no water, unfortunately. Let's see. Maybe they failed to change the future, or maybe they cause it, which means Time Zero didn't happen. Yes, but if they fuck up the event on the 15th, then yes, absolutely, Time Zero didn't happen. Milk, chocolate, hot, yes. New Whoopi is nothing like Guinan. Yeah, I have a real problem with the actress playing her. She just does not. None of her mannerisms, none of the way she talks, none of the way she acts is anything like Whoopi, and it's a shame because I can kind of hear Guinan saying some of the stuff that she said, but in a much calmer way. So, yes, James Roberts, you're absolutely right. Spock would not be part of the Confederation to go back during Star Trek 4. Absolutely. This is the biggest problem. A little piece of fan service has ever caused, isn't it? Yes. I think they meant it as a funny little thing, not thinking that it totally invalidates all of their timeline history shit. If they don't want Time Zero to have happened, that's cool. I get that. That's fine. However, putting in the fact that Spock and Kirk were back there indicates that the Federation existed and you would have led to the TNG, which would have meant that Time Zero happened anyway in this past. So you've already you fucked yourself by putting in some fan service. So yes, it's an absolutely fun piece of fan service, but it was a bad idea. Just saying. Uh, that Kirk Thatcher, hands down, is the best return in Star Trek history. Yeah, Kirk Thatcher's awesome, man. Charles Thigh, $20. Thank you so much. I'm going to buy you some beer here and offer this. Don't worry, Picard is in a multiverse of madness. Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely a multiverse. But I've reconciled it in my mind, but then we get all these comments, and you got to like, people don't hear it the first time because they're not here, or they missed the video we talked about it, so it keeps coming back up. And it's like we're trying to explain how it works. So, but thank you for the beer. It's very appreciated. Oh, Jesus. Diesel Roberts, maybe she doesn't remember him after 200 years. I wouldn't remember her face from 2 weeks. Well, there you go. So Laris is an agent. Laris 8. Okay, it's not Laris, for the love of fuck. Do you see the ears? I mean, they could surgically be changed if she is a Romulan, sure. But she doesn't have Romulan ears. I don't think it's her. I think it's like a chameleon effect where it's somebody that he was hoping maybe to see. I know he wouldn't have expected to see the Watcher be Laris, but it's somebody that's on his mind at least. So the Laris thing is annoying as fuck, by the way, just so we know. Let's see. Guinan from Mark Twain's era wasn't preaching about racial issues and then goes full. Oh, for fuck's sakes. You're absolutely right on the timeline, Stuart. Thank you for your clarity. Well, I might not be absolutely right. I could be wrong with the temporal mechanics of it, but that's how I see it. So, Peter Lukaku throws in $10. The Watcher didn't want to be followed, but 150 feet later, 3 hosts meet the Watcher. Oh, yeah. It's like, we're making sure we're not following you. She went from a little girl at the beginning of a little tunnel to a guy pointing to another guy that turns around and follows him to the end of the tunnel. I'm making sure you're not being followed. How? Somebody could still be fucking following him. That is the stupidest goddamn logic in the world. That writing was ridiculous. If you had shown a scene where they're walking out of the park into this alleyway, then it'd be like, okay, some time's gone by. They went a distance. But the way it's laid out is just ridiculous. Let's see. There must be some swerve we're not thinking of, unless they just screwed the pooch and didn't understand the canon references they were making. I don't know. It's concerning to me. Maybe Guinan is younger than the one in Time Zero. Proper fucking River Song BS. So what does Picard have to change in the past to get us to Death Stars in later future? Let's see. 10 forward named after the section of Enterprise D. Yes. Everyone is always down and dystopian in the shows now, and they have to start broken. Yeah, unfortunately. I agree they screwed it with the punk being there and the Spock neck pinching him, but I still believe it's a Confederation past, not Federation. I do too. I mean, that's the explanation they're giving, and I'm fine with that. But then don't put the punk in. It was a great reference. It was fun. It was great to see Kirk Thatcher back. But you fucked up because that means you're invalidating your whole storyline and your whole timeline by doing that. Wayed, £5. The Will probe incident would still have happened in the Confederation timeline. Kirk probably put the guy in a headlock in that one. That's funny. Oh, okay, I like that. But yeah, Kirk. Would they send Kirk, an evil Kirk, back in time? I like that. I like that explanation. That's good. You win the best super chat award for tonight. um, Seven's bad driving had already been done when Kirk drove that car in a piece of the action, which also has a lost communicator, like Rios's lost so far communicator. Yep, I noticed that Rios's communicator, it was left on the desk in the clinic there, and nobody grabbed it. They didn't see it because so it was probably moved, but still, there's a lost communicator floating around, and Confederation tech to top it all off. So good tea, nice house, $20. If they didn't include Punk Rock Dude, you could have easily wrote off Time Zero Gaff as a Q timeline. Just like in episode Tapestry, Picard and Marta hooked up in real timeline. They didn't. Yeah, exactly. It's not to say that Guinan doesn't get thrown back to 1800 after this. I like that too. That's also good. Casual Trekker puts in $5. The Punk was there regardless of Kirk being there, so he would still be on the bus. Am I missing something? Can it just be a nod to the character? No, because when she says turn it down, he's like, oh, okay. Like he rubs his neck like he remembers Spock's neck pinch that knocked him out. So just not having the neck rub would have been great, but they added the neck rub as well. So it's doubly stupid. Listen, Jericho, Rio's got the date wrong. He's from 2401, not 2400. Yeah, but when you're dealing with hundreds of years, I'm from 2400. I'm from the 1980s. I'm not from 1988. You know, like I'll say I was born in the 70s. Accurate. Anyway. The FedOc throws in $10 Australian, so thank you. To be fair about Guinan, people do change and are influenced by their surroundings throughout their life. Guinan has spent God knows how long in this hellhole that is all in the culture of coastals. Sure, whatever. I'll buy that. Joseph Cole puts in a $2 super chat with a message redacted. So I don't know what that was. So as far as temple mechanics go in time travel episodes, it seems like that the individuals who go back in time are protected, like them being behind a rock and a stream that forms in the eddy that goes around you. Yeah, pretty much. We still have hope that Duquesne can still be in it because there is still a temporal incursion. It'd be cool if Duquesne was in it, the temporal agent, as well as the Gary. I don't know what to call them, but Gary Sevens people. Casual Trekker, $5. The event already passed when they woke up. There was no prime timeline as we saw it at this point. They need to ensure the prime timeline creation. Why did Kirk and Spock go back and Vulcan neck pinch the guy on the bus then? The Federation never existed. But the Punk was like, yeah, I don't want to get my neck pinched again. I'll turn this down. I'm so sorry. Anyway. Confederation Kirk may not be evil. Or Confederate Kirk may not be evil. Okay. Yes, Junkman. That's the same guy from the 80s. Absolutely, yes. He would be extra scared if it was evil Kirk, right? Hate to say it, didn't want it this way, but I knew we were going to be staying in the past. I'm torn now. I don't know. The showrunner went out and said, timeline stupidity. The guy's been rocking on buses for close to 40 years. Well, there's a if you watch the subtitles when the song's on, the songs change. It's been, so the one first line is like it's been 35 years now, and then it goes on to say that I still hate you, I still whatever. So it's new lyrics for the song, which Kirk Thatcher wrote. He wrote the original song, and he also wrote this one, I would assume. But yeah, 35 years they say. So Squadron Course $2. In my honest opinion, the punk just proves they already succeeded. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. I like that. That makes a lot of sense as well. So, hell to the yes. There's a theory that Q deliberately erased Guinan's memory in the events of 1893 and thus made Picard's work to fix history that much more difficult. That I will also accept. That is a fantastic answer as well. How did the female unlock? How did the female doctor know about Dixon Hill and its relevance to Picard? Teenage writing, throwing meta-level references around. She knows Picard. She has for a while. Probably came up that he likes Dixon Hill. Or it could be like the New Detective thing, like, no shit, Sherlock. Now it's like, no shit, Dixon Hill. Who knows? So Rappy rushed into the away mission and caused this whole mess with Rios. Picard and Girardi had power back in like half an hour, and they were wasting days and hours trying to get Rios back. That'd be Julius. So is the dog going to be Picard's dog in the future? No. Peter Lukaku, $5. Seven's version of the neck pinch on a punk isn't sleep but assimilation. Throw a tubule in there and some nanoprobes and assimilate that asshole. E.R. Mixon's Craziest Theories throws in $5, so thank you. In Star Trek, the method of time travel tends to set the rules, so events established by slingshot time travel still count. Yes, so no Q influence there. I'll buy that also. I will buy that also. Hey, Captain, how do I send you a PayPal? I have a really long super chat that is worth discussing. Send it to Trekyards at hotmail.com. Let's see. Has anyone noticed that Agnes's hair is always messed up? Well, that's the style. It's just like that curly, wavy, kind of crunchy style. Enjoy. Why are we still watching? Why are we still watching what, Picard? Well, no one's making you watch it. I want to watch it because I still enjoy it. This was a pretty good episode, all things considered. I just was kind of bummed about the Guinan thing and the new actress. So is this taking place during the Bell Riot events, since both were in 2024? Well, no, this is in April 2024. The Bell Riots happened in September, so they're quite removed from that. General Grievous, $5. For the love of the great bird of Confederation, it's not the default. All of Trek in the past shows it. Plus, Q told Picard his fear caused the change. The joke about how he can't explain if it's Picard as human or a robot seemed like a jab at season 1. Did make me laugh. Yep, it's kind of an analog for the viewers, for sure, because we never really got an explanation how that works exactly, because a lot of people still don't quite get it, and I think that was exactly what that was. Oh my god. Another nitpick. Hours pass before Picard bothers to activate the crash ship's cloaking field, yet no modern radars or ground observers notice a ship crashing in France. Why Picard wait hours? That's a good question. It seems like Q didn't... It doesn't seem like Q did this. He lost his powers. Did he ever actually say he'd done it, or did... everybody assumed. No, he didn't say he did it. One of our theories is the reason he's acting so weird is because something happened that he has no power to fix. Sure, he still has some of his powers, And who else could fix a problem like that? Picard. I know Picard will help me and the Continuum get back to where we're supposed to be. Same with the Borg Queen thing. Queen knows that they can fix things essentially. So yeah, there's no indication that Q did all this. It's we're assuming that because we know Q and we know that he has power. I still don't understand what Picard is supposed to be doing penance for. We have only 6 episodes left. Yeah. I like that Guinan was on 10 Forward Avenue in the future as a quirk of 10 Forward was putting her in the past just seems silly. Let's see. So are we retconning Laris as being a watcher in season 1, stationed at the chateau? I mean, that could be a possibility, but I really doubt it. But yeah, let's see. Bell Riots were about 400 miles away from where Picard is at the moment. Yes, this is also true. Did you catch the Sanctuary District reference? Yes, they're taking it to a Sanctuary District near the Mexican border. If you watch the original episode from DS9 where they went to the Sanctuary Districts, Cisco says every major city had a Sanctuary District. So they exist in every city. So... I found myself really hoping that Rios would find a way to win over the guy running the detention facility. Alas, that would be too optimistic and humanizing for this show. Eric Martin, $5. Where is the butter tart stuff? Beer is the hooch. Where's the top shelf? It's here. I just haven't opened it yet. It's the butter tart stuff. When I run out of beer, I'll get into that. I didn't mind Guinan as a new actor, but man, I hated how she was and went against everything I ever knew about the character. She should always be the wise one, the voice of reason. I totally agree, Junkman. Absolutely. Let's see. I was hoping they would de-age Guinan. The new actress threw me off a little, threw me off a lot. But all in for a great episode. Who else has power beyond the Continuum? The Organians? Pumpkin Spice. This season is deteriorating quickly. Maybe throwing Picard into yesterday's Enterprise timeline would have worked better. And bring in the real Enterprise C, the Probert one. Mark Lawrence shows in $5. Prime Federation timeline must have happened because tech is still advanced thanks to Bracton's time ship and ChronoWorks. Yes, we actually have a video coming out on the weekend talking about the time changes, and I bring that up as well. That ChronoWorks had to have existed because there's still like cell phones and you can see people with modern tech. That was all a result of ChronoWorks getting the future tech and reverse engineering it. So ChronoWorks happened. Spock and Kirk coming back to the past to take out that punk rocker on the bus happened. So yeah, it's still the prime timeline. Oi. The ChronoWorks is a bit of a stretch, I must admit, but still. Q said he was a suture in the wound holding things together. It seems reality is tearing apart. There was an audiobook once where Trelane killed the Continuum and Q had to act in a similar concept. Yes, that I am but a suture holding it together line from episode 2 is very important, I think. So, why did the Watcher change their eyes? Seems risky if you don't want to be known as aliens. Are they doing it just to show Picard how cool it was? No, it was so the Watcher could see through their eyes. That would be my assumption. How dumb is it that they can travel but decided to go back 3 days before the event? Why not go back a week, a month, and so on? Well, the Borg Queen was the one that jumped them. They had no control. Rios is like, I am not in control of this ship. And the Borg Queen took them to war, slingshot them around the sun. So she's the one that set them 3 days before. They had no choice. Even in Star Trek 4, they overshoot Is it Star Trek? No, it's not Star Trek 4. It's more TOS episode. It's not Assignment Earth. It's Tomorrow Was Yesterday, where when they go back to the future, they actually overshoot a little bit because it is an exact science, but it's very difficult at the exact mark. So 3 days before is more than enough time. Isn't 10 forward on deck 10 of the Enterprise? How is that a bar without the knowledge of the starship bar? Why would Guinan have the time sickness occur if nothing happened to the timeline yet? Is it a proximity of the event, or does a small pebble disrupt the time stream at that point? If you'll pay attention, at that point, Picard is saying the exact same thing, word for word, that she said to him in the first episode. This isn't about time. This is about you. And you hear the echo of the original Guinan at that time. And Picard even explains it. He says, the reason you're feeling like that right now is because you said the exact same thing to me in the future. Let's see. Maybe that's not Guinan, but one of her children. Hello, Andres. From Bosnia and Herzegovina. Trek or not, could this be a version of time where the Bell riots failed and our society went from worse to worse? Perhaps someone went back and killed Bell. Well, Bell gets killed anyway, and Sisko takes his place. So, yeah. Or it could be that the Bell riots didn't happen like they were intended to for some reason. I don't know. I don't think it revolves around the Bell riots because, like they said, the change happens on April 15th. The Bell riots happened in September of 2024, so... Or did the punk rocker get the boombox and batteries in 2024? I thought the same thing, man. Just have earphones on that are blasting pretty loud. That was a bit much, but... Shem says, my kids say, why doesn't Guinan remember Picard from the Mark Twain episode? Well, we've talked about that ad nauseum on this already. This live is not about that specific thing. But I'm glad your kids are pointing it out. That's funny. Timeline. This is no time to talk about the timeline. We don't have the time. Shem, why are you yelling? Wait, the punk guy was a punk in the mid-'80s and still a punk in 2024. Wouldn't he be like 60 now? Maybe it was his grandson. No, it was him. It's the same actor. If it's prime timeline, Guinan should have remembered Picard at least eventually. Yes, it should have been. Slight deviation, thoughts on TOS movie remaster trailer. Slight deviation, thoughts on the TOS movie remastered trailer. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Maybe they're in the JJ timeline, and that's why Guinan doesn't know Picard from the Mark Twain shit. Meh. Junkman. So I'm going to guess Guinana. Name the bar 10 forward on the Enterprise in honor for old bar. I'm overthinking. You're absolutely fucking overthinking it. It was literally on deck 10 at the very forward part of the ship. That's why it was called 10 forward. It could just be a coincidence that our old bar happened to be at an address 10 forward street. And be like, it's synergy. I know where I need to be. Whatever is going is likely tied to the Europa mission, since we see shots of the last couple episodes and there's shots of the astronauts in the trailer. Yeah, and Picard's wearing, or not Picard, Q's wearing the Europa suit. There's a garbage can on one of the last scenes that says to boldly go, and it's got the Europa mission thing on the side. That's a big part. Even the newspaper that Q's reading, that's going to play a massive part in this, I think. So, wait. I just fucking realized something. Picard, hold on. I just came to realization. Picard in the first episode, during his speech at the Academy, said that one of his ancestors was one of the very first to explore the solar system. That could be the lady, the blonde lady, and that could be the Europa mission. The evidence is right in fucking front of us. Fuck. I just realized that. Guinan waits 400 years to see Picard again and be able to acknowledge Time Zero, but where she doesn't know about it. Biggest problem. It's the same punk dude. He's just a lot older. Yep. If Bell killed in April, it happens before Cisco goes back, changing the timeline. So not Cisco to replace him. Thus the riots failed. But they're in fucking LA. The Bell riots happened in San Francisco. There's quite a distance there. Just saying. So I don't think it has anything to do with Bell. Since you hate it, does that mean Samuel will love this episode? No, I don't hate the episode. I thought the episode was good. It just wasn't as good as the other 3 episodes this season. It was the worst of the 4. The Guinan recasting annoyed me. And everybody fucking harping on Time Zero has been annoying me all fucking day. Aside from that, I thought it was a pretty good episode. I think they went a little hardcore on the whole ICE and police aspect of it, personally. But that's just me. So other than that, I thought it was pretty good. It was a fun episode. So I don't hate it by any means. Shem says, so you can see what I wrote and read it, LOL. Please stop yelling. Dreamer out there, $2. Shouldn't Guinan know Picard? Moving on. We've already talked about this. We still have the little boy in the woods with the Vulcans, so it's going to be temporal headache from beginning to the Temporal Wars. Yeah, that still has to come up. Fleetbot said there is a PayPal. Okay, hold on. Better not be a long goddamn question, man. Here we go. Let's see. You got money. Okay, it's not too bad. So thank you very much for the PayPal. So good tea, nice house, thank you. But I'd like to nip this in the bud real quick. While it would be nice would have been nice to see a de-age Whoopi in 2024. In universe, it would make sense that Guinan looks different at this time. Between 1893 and 1990, it would be easy to look like TNG Guinan for decades undetected, given the lack of digital records and surveillance. Between 1990 up till the first contact in 2063, with social media, internet, modern record-keeping cameras everywhere, it would be hard for TNG Guinan to have the same face and evade people for 170 years. I would assume the first contact day she could revert to original Whoopi look. Can you please discuss this with Samuel tomorrow? I can. I don't agree with you, though. Don't agree with you at all. It's like a vampire needs to because they live forever, so they need to just keep moving from area to area. I get the whole cameras everywhere at airports and all that, but, she's an Elorian. She could have advanced tech that, fuzzes out the camera or makes it not work when she's near it. So I don't buy that at all. Why would she look different? Did she have plastic surgery? Did she have like a face scanner that distorts her her features? I don't know how that would work exactly. So I get what you're saying, but I disagree with you. They accidentally credited the blonde lady as a Picard. I don't think that's an accident. Let's see. Sherlock Foley is on the case with Blonde Girl. What is the Europa mission? 2001 reference? No, it's a mission to the moons of Jupiter, Europa. It's plastered everywhere. It was on the side of the bus. It was on the side of the building. When they went to the missionary district, it was on the side of a garbage can. It was on the mission patches for the that Q was wearing, and a few people in the background were wearing there. It was in the article. Is 2024 the return to space article? So that's what the Europa mission is. Yeah, people talking about time zero ad nauseum annoyed me. Sorry, late to the show. No problem. Just stop reading the repeat questions for your own mental health. Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, pretty much. Sad that Duquesne is not coming back, or at least the Watcher. There's no guarantee that Duquesne's not coming back. The actor's still coming up at some point, and there's still a temporal incursion. So I have no problem with Duquesne showing up and being the the temporal police from the future. I would love to have a Gary Seven type tie-in with a temporal agent tie-in. That'd be amazing. Are you kidding me? That'd be some really good storytelling if it's done well. I can cope with the recasting as long as they actually use her to do action things, and maybe Whoopi couldn't do. She is an imp, according to Q. Yeah, well, there you go. Dreamer out there, $5. I missed you talk about it. I was fighting with Google to let me make super chats. What are the Guinan theories? What are the Guinan theories? Guys, can you please let Dreamer out there know, because I don't want to keep harping on about it. Andrew K. Yes, I brought up that Laris didn't have Romulan features. How do we know Guinan doesn't travel back in time, so she's older when time zero happened? That's perfectly acceptable. If they explain that, I'll be happy with that. Yes, absolutely. I like that. Yes, we now know why a British actor is playing a French character. I love that little reference as well. So yes. Why was the blonde reading a Dixon Hill novel? Could more point to her being an ancestor to Picard? She is an ancestor to Picard. Her last name's Picard. It says as much in the subtitles. Not many people watch the subtitles. I do, unfortunately, sometimes. Well, I have to as part of my research for the episode. So, yes, she is absolutely a Picard. And Picard in episode 1, in the speech, said, one of my earliest ancestors was the first to explore the solar system. So I think it's going to tie in with this Europa mission. Peter Lukaku, $5. Star Trek has money to be as cool as Disney Wars. Deepfake is cheap. Deepfake is cheap. Good deepfake is not cheap. And for the amount of screen time she had, they couldn't have pulled that off for a reasonable price. CBS and Paramount have nowhere near the money that Disney does. Just wondering, considering that Q was also the Cartier from MLB Discord, we have a crossover episode, say, in Lower Decks, or any Easter eggs from other shows? Don't know, don't think so. Instead of attracting the attention of the Vulcans, they come out of warp during the time jump and attract the attention of the Klingons, and they come to Earth and interfere with the Europa mission. Let's see. I think with the recasting, you just need to suspend your disbelief. Luke Skywalker style would have been nice. Yes, unfortunately, you do have to do that with that. The Europa mission is commanded by Captain Christopher's grandson. Tomorrow was yesterday. No, he didn't do the Europa mission. He had a mission to Saturn. Saturn and Europa are nowhere in the vicinity. So Christian, you're wrong. Captain Christopher, his grandson went to Saturn, not to Europa. Brian says, "Oh wow, way to disregard a super chat. Which super chat? Oh, the one about the Guinan theories. Well, considering I've spent the whole time talking about it, and it's a regular, so it's not disregarding the super chat at all. So let's see here." Who was the lady watcher that Picard knew? That girl he liked in episode 1? Yes, Laris, but not her because she was... Laris is a Romulan. This one definitely didn't have Romulan ears. So Dreamer out there is asking again the theories for Guinan. I don't know what you mean theories for Guinan specifically, first of all. Do you mean about Time's Arrow? According to Terry Metlis, the showrunner, here we go again, guys. You're going to hear it all again. They're in the Confederation timeline, so that never happened. TNG never happened. However, that's wrong because the event that changes history doesn't change until the 15th of April. They're at the 12th of April right now. And it's already been proven that the Federation existed because the punk on the bus, when he was asked to put the music away, he grabbed his neck because he remembers Spock's neck pinch. So Kirk and Spock went back, meaning the Federation existed already. So they've already disproven that completely. And if that's the theory you're asking about, there you go. So, let's see. Deepfake is really limiting. You can see how using super flat lighting for leakable effects. Yeah. Whatever happened to Picard's Spanish ancestors? Javier Picard, conquistador responsible for Native American slaughter. Jesus Christ. Saturn mission has happened already in 2020. Okay. They've already had Easter eggs from the City on the Edge of Forever, so it's good change that a Picard is meant to die. I'm betting the future super chat on this. Okay. Hey, Cap just tuned in, but Laris loved the misdirection with Guinan. It's not Laris, pretty sure. I think it's somebody just looking like Guinan, Laris as a way to put Picard at ease, probably. I don't know, because she's got human ears. Could be, you could be surgically altered to look human, I guess, but... Would the Watcher be a temporal agent? No, the Watcher is one of, like, Gary Seven from Assignment Earth. Gary Seven was a Class 1 supervisor. And Whoopi said, the Watcher just goes by supervisor. So she's one of the Gary Seven people. You can also tell by the portal she leaves in, that kind of fog and mist with that purple glow and like the door shape. Because in Assignment Earth, they just opened the door, walked in. It was like a teleporter to take them wherever they needed to go. So... Bill Devers puts in $20. Join late, maybe drunk. Bets on Rios flirting with his grandmother. Also, Girardi mentioned don't mess with butterflies, and there are butterflies all over the clinic Rios ended up in. Is this a hint? Ooh, I didn't notice that, but you're probably absolutely right. It's one of those subtle little hints. I want to try some of this stuff now. This is the butter tart liqueur. It's a sipping drink, so... But Eric Martin got this for me, dropped it off. So let's get this poured, and I'm kind of done talking about this goddamn episode already. But anyway, no, I didn't mind the episode per se. The casting of Guinan threw me a little bit. Did not expect that. But hey, it is what it is. Matter of fact, the more I've seen it, the less I like it. Each time I watch it, I kind of like it less and less. So, but hey, it's just me. I could be totally wrong. It could be the best piece of science fiction, drama, action, adventure shit out there. It's just, I'll have a little sip of this. Butter tart liqueur. That's pretty good. Doesn't taste as butter tarty as I would have liked, but Joseph says, man, I love this community. Captain Foley, you and Samuel have created an amazing space here where you have so much great theories and our passionate crew of this. Thanks for doing all you do. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. I think the watchers can change their look with someone who sees them as a familiar person. That is why Picard thinks he saw Laris, but that's my theory. I totally agree with you. Do you think Jurati is the Borg Queen from the first episode? It's a distinct possibility, yes. Thanks, Cap. I was wondering if anyone had come up with some crazy theories why Guinan wouldn't remember, but you explained the situation. I get it now. Thanks again. Dreamer out there, there was more that people had mentioned, like Q snapped away her memory, so she wouldn't remember Picard to make it more difficult for Picard. There was also that this is a younger Guinan who later time travels to go back to the 1800s. So, of course, she hasn't met Picard yet. So, that's another option. But then that would change the events of Time's Arrow, that she would know who Picard was and be like... So, yeah, there's been a few. Let's see. Eric Martin, $5. They should have used the actress that played Guinan as a child in TNG Rascals. She would have nailed it. Yeah, she did a pretty... Well, I don't know what she's like now, though. But Eric, thank you so much. I'm not going to... Damn, this is very sweet. Gary, 7 people there were also time travelers. They knew that the space launch was critical to Earth's history. General Grievous, someone needs to tell Jurati to shut up about butterflies. She made a flock of butterflies when she beamed Seven and Raffi back in public and tell them, find an alleyway or ow. It was a situation. Maybe Assignment Earth will finally get its chance of a spin-off. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Borg Queen is either Jurati's mom, or Jurati or Picard's mom. It's not Picard's mom. Speaking of, she was in this fucking episode too. I can't stand that actress. I have no clue who she is, but I just... Every time she's on screen, I'm like, oh, I hate you. So... Mark Lawrence, $5. Rios became his own ancestor. To be condoned. Do you mean continued? Or condontered? I don't know what you mean. Maybe Kirk and Spock went back as Confederation officers. Maybe the Confederation was somehow a bit more open to half Vulcan at the time. The punk grabbed his neck because evil Spock made that painful. Could be. Somebody even suggested that evil Kirk put him in a headlock or something. Sorry if you already explained this, but I can't imagine them pulling off Guinan without choosing a different actor. Did you catch the Ready Room's description? I didn't. No, I didn't. Picard Season 2 is like grabbing at the Cliff Notes episodes of Trek and tossing them in a blender. It certainly creates conversation, even with the plot holes. Are we sure she doesn't know Picard? She seems to react to his name. Yeah, but she's also got the temporal, the time sense about her. So once the name was said, and if you remember, literally like a minute or two before that, she's like, you can tell me all this, but you can't even tell me your name. He's like, well, that would mean, I don't want to cause any problems for the timeline or the future and screw anything up. And she's like, oh, okay. So I think her just hearing his name was enough to be like, okay, this guy is desperate. He needs me. He wants to trust me to the point where he said his name, even when he said he shouldn't. It was also that. I didn't necessarily get the sense that she recognized the name. I can see why people would think that, but I personally don't think that's the case. The supervisor is the cat, and the cat can project whatever you feel or feel you see as a person. Yep, that's what I said to start this off. I think that Laris is the pet of the Guardian. Interesting. NASA's Europa Clipper is set to launch in 2024. Ooh, nice. Richard Johnson, did anyone notice Jackson Roy Kirk's name in the building? Nomad would have launched over 20 years earlier, by the way. Yep, I noticed it. Australia is not real. Just ask a flat earther. Throws in $5 Australian, so thank you so much. I don't think the writers, the writers of Picard ever seen an episode of Track. Okay. I haven't seen an episode of Track either. Sounds like a railroad show. I I think Rios became captain of the Enterprise at the end of the series. No, he absolutely will not. If the Black Cat were to appear at one of the next episodes, this would cause... Oh, wait, it's probably coming. Kit 10K, $5. Yo, Cat, my man. Hey, Kit, how's it going? Another sip of this. This would be good in like a Coke or something. But just as a... They say it's a sipping drink, but it's a little bit sweet. JB says, I think the Guardian will be revealed to be Puggins. Puggins? Is you the Guardian? What are you doing with the time? Oh, come here. Yeah. Here's the Watcher. All she does is lay on the couch, sleep, and watch things. And eat treats. What is that face? She's like, I don't know why I'm up here. Pumpkins. Thank you. Okay, go lay down. The only good thing about Picard Season 1 is no extragalactic AI, and the new Borg Queen was one of them. They created and used Borg technology to oppress organics. Grudge is the Watcher. I'm calling it, says Dan. Oh, wow. Mike says, because the Confederation Picard never went back to the 1900s and met Guinan. But Mike, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to explain it again. You guys can tell them what the problem is with that, because they already screwed that fucking logic. Okay, I'll just fucking say it, because the punk on the bus stopped the music and rubbed his neck. It's from Star Trek 4, when Spock gives him a neck pinch. So Spock and Kirk already went back, which means the Federation already existed in the timeline that they are currently in. So of course TNG happened, and of course they went back and went to Time Zero 1800s. Now, after April 15th, they're on April 12th right now. After April 15th, if they don't fix the problem, then yes. Time Zero never happened. So the Guardian teleport portal thing was square-shaped. It was the shape of a dog flap for puggos. The Guardian of the Universe is Cap's dog. Remember that, folks. Douglas Hammer says, that thing looks like a mini Targ. Yes, she's ugly like a Targ. E.R. Mixon's craziest theory is $5. Maybe she just didn't recognize him because he's old, and then when he says the name, she remembers. Possibly. Pumpkin Spice, where was Chrono Works building in the background anywhere? Abandoned, maybe after Henry Sterling died in 1996? It could have been abandoned, taken over, whatever, but... Brian says the actress who played Guinan is, as a little girl in Rascals, only had one other acting job, and that was young Dolores from Sister Act. JB, you should make a Trekyards t-shirt with Puggins' face on it coming out of the Gary 7 teleport field. Oh, Puggins. Yes. Sebastian throws in €5. As I understand it, Lorians can sense through time, back and forward, so Picard's name triggered a memory sense in Guinan, like a flashback. Yeah, that would make sense as well. That's what I said with her time sense, because he does say, right before that, he says, you know, in the future, you're my oldest and dearest friend. Kit 10K, $5. Empress Pug made an appearance. We are blessed. Bill Denver's $5. Treats for Puggins. Thank you. She appreciates it. We'll give you a treat later, okay? Stuart, if they ask the same question over and over again, just say, go back to the beginning of the live stream. Then you will find out. Yeah, but most people won't go back and watch a live stream from the beginning after it's over. A Saucy Puppet Show, $10. Could Renee be the Picard that the Watcher is here to serve as a guardian angel for? Might explain why Gannon only reacted when he said his name was Picard. Possibly. Casual Trekker, the punk rubbed his neck, and the editor and the director didn't catch the meaning. Was a whoops. Did anyone notice that the blonde reading the Dixon Hill novel was also drinking a mug of hot tea? Yes. Maybe I missed something, but what was the significance of Luna the dog? Was it mentioned before? There's no significance at all to Luna the dog. I think it's actually Patrick Stewart's real dog, is I think the importance, but I don't think of the name as Luna. Maybe she didn't remember because she was standing in front of her. Was a Cylon. Maybe the Watcher suppresses Guinan's memory. Who knows? That's another option, yeah. Is Brent Spiner in this season? Thought he was in the trailer, not as Data. Yes, he is in this season. He'll probably be in the next episode, actually. But yeah, he's not Data. Are the Watchers Organians? No. They're whatever Gary 7 in Assignment Earth was. The shirt idea I mentioned would probably be the lowest selling shirt because even in a niche community, almost nobody would ever get it unless they were here. Considering how complicated time travel can be, people need to stop quibbling about details, besides the possibility of the writers getting things wrong. Sebastian, have you met the Star Trek fans quibbling about details? Wow. We'll definitely stop that. We'll get right on that. This all stinks of the Voyager episode, non sequitur, where Kim ended up on Earth in an alt reality. Cosimo refers to him as a Watcher. Ooh. There you go. Mike, they created their own universe to supersede the Prime. We need Corbin Burnson to make an appearance, yes. I cracked it. Freaking vashed it, says Madman. Luna is number one's great, etc. grandmother. Of course, because everybody everywhere is always related. Let's see. Chris Morton, how would Picard know Guinan if he never saw her in this form or age? Really? Because she looks exactly the same in the 1800s. The Enterprise B era. Not TNG era. Anyway. Joseph Cole says, it hurts my sickly brain to overthink this. I've made the choice to just ride along and enjoy the good parts. Pretty much, yeah. The Junkman Brent Spiner is a Watcher. No, I can't buy that for a minute. Don't think so. Squadron course. Wait, I thought quibbling about the details was the defining trait of a Trekkie. Yeah, pretty much. I don't even want to go on somebody like Salty Trekker's stream talking about this because I'll just be infuriated after a minute because of the misunderstanding or lack of attempt to explain things that they will have. But anyway. How do you know the punk didn't meet a Confederate Spock who pinched the punk? Well, why would Confederate Spock be going back in time? Sure, the whale probe could still arrive, but what are the chances it was Spock? What are the chances it was a Vulcan neck pinch? I like the idea that somebody else said earlier that it could be an evil Kirk that went back and put him in a fucking headlock. Maybe that would explain it. Sure. Andre Benson, $5. Need to title this stream Cause and Effect. Keep repeating the same questions over and over and over again. Pretty much, yeah. Sad to see Q with erectile dysfunction of the fingers. How the mighty have fallen. Repeat to yourself, it's just a show and should really just relax. Okay. What was Q's monologue about? I don't know. maybe she's head of this mission that's going to Europa, and she thinks she's got it all figured out. And he said, you know, people are going to die. And maybe that's what they need to stop. Maybe they have to prevent the mission to Europa. Maybe they have to, I don't know. Maybe she dies, and therefore Picard was never born. I don't know, man. Joseph Barbato, got any good Eagle Moss reviews coming, Cap? I haven't filmed anymore. I do have a few ships that still need to be done. But as you saw today on the Captain Foley personal channel, my video was about the basement update and showing off some of the stuff down there. So if you haven't seen that and want to go check it out, please go do. But nothing's scheduled, nothing filmed right now. So for Eagle Moss. Just thinking that the Picard family in general has an important destiny, and the reason the Watcher is there in the first place is because of Rene Picard's importance of the Europa mission. Yeah, could be. I mean, even the speech he made in the first episode, he said, you know, in the last of the Picard line, he regrets never having kids. He didn't think he had to because his brother Robert had a kid, you know, Rene. So, could be. Yes, I caught the book that she was reading. Could be a hint, you're right. Kit 10K throws in $5. Sorry if you already said this, but I am on my break and didn't hear it. But how did you like this episode? I thought it was pretty good. Didn't like the casting of the new Guinan. Other than that, I think the police chase scene was a little long. So was the in-your-face cops are evil, ICE is evil thing that was really super exaggerated in my opinion. But other than that, I thought it was fun. It had some very fun moments like, oh, if you piss her off, she'll eat your eyelids off. Oh, that's fun. You know, stuff like that. So I did enjoy it, and I love the reveal of the Watcher. Not that it was Laris. I thought that was fucking incredibly stupid. But the fact that it was one of Gary Seven's people, an actual Guardian. So, Fleet Paw, $5. Honestly enjoyed the episode. Don't get why folks are griping about it so much. It was the worst of the 4, but there are still 6 more. Hey, that rhymes. And yeah, I totally agree, Fleet Paw. Connection between 15 3 times. It must be on the 15th. Picard in the room with 15 lights. There are 15 lights. Got that one wrong. Let's see. Andrew K, $5. My favorite line in the episode was Agnes saying, I can imagine a little Picard wandering around here saying milk, chocolate, hot. I agree with you about the ice thing, and that was overall a good episode. Yes. I don't think about the cops being evil, just commentary on U.S. immigration continuing the refugee theme from season 1. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me try this again. There was a quick cut to the 21st Century Astronaut in an early trailer, so there seems to be some importance to that mission. Yes, absolutely. Dreamer out there puts in $5. I appreciate the mention that they are taking Rios to a sanctuary district continuity, so writers do know some things. However, if you go back and watch the DS9 episode where Sisko is explaining the sanctuary districts to Bashir, Bashir's like, well, Sisko says they put the unwanted in here. And Bashir says, so criminals? And Sisko says, no. Nobody with a criminal record is in the sanctuary district. I mean, Rios got arrested. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean he has a criminal record. He doesn't have a history per se. So, whatever. But, I don't know. JB sent to PayPal. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. PayPal. All right, $5. Thank you very much. Idea. What if the reason why Picard didn't want to say his name was because at some point during their friendship, Guinan had instructed Picard to never try to help her. Remember lost memories if he notices that, because it might cause fatal time sickness that could kill her. That's why he didn't want to say his name at first. I mean, that's an explanation. No offense, I don't like that. I think that's kind of stupid, but it could be the case. I don't know. And JB, yeah, I didn't know that, so okay. About the ice, and slaves. So I didn't know that. But it seemed a little in your face about it. And it's like, I'm a Canadian. I don't even know what the fuck ice is. But anyway. I find it amusing that they have Leah Thompson directing something involving time travel. I know. The Ronin, $5. Hey, Cap, I love the episode, even though I think the differences between the bus punk and Guinan's memory is just a plot hole. Yeah, I think it was a fun little fan service moment that they didn't really consider. Whatever. Just, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because if I didn't fucking mention it, people would be like, well, the punk thing happened and Kirk and Spock, they went back, so it has to be the thing. So it's like, yeah, if I don't say it, then it's like they pointed out that I don't say it. If I do say it, then they pointed out that, yeah, but it could just be a problem with the writing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So you're kind of fucked if, no matter what you do, reviewing this. Anyway. Kit 10K, $5. Rios doesn't have a history. Since he's from the future, that definitely applies in more ways than one. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I wasn't trying to be hard on you or anything like that. I hope it didn't come off as such. No, it didn't. It absolutely didn't. It's been a frustrating day of people saying the same shit to me in Messenger, on Twitter, on Facebook, just ad nauseum. It's going to be like a week of it now, about this, well, probably more with this time travel issue. So it's just, I've been oversaturated with it today, and I'm just like, oh, man. So I'm sorry. I shouldn't take it on you guys. ICE is the U.S. Immigration Department. I'm aware. I know I said I'm Canadian, don't know what the fuck ICE is. I do know what ICE is. I know it's the immigration whatever. What does ICE stand for? Immigration Control Empire? I don't know. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is, if you know what I mean. The ICE bit is a little too political. I would say so, yes. Yeah, no worries there, Caps. I wasn't mad at you or anything. Thank you. Don't worry, we all love you. Well, not everyone does, but thank you, Shem. Maybe the plot holes are showing time is in flux. I'd be fine with that explanation as well, as long as it's an explanation that's said so that we understand. Something you use to cool drinks, right? Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. It's a stupid fucking acronym, just for the record. Look, here comes ICE. ICE, ICE, baby. Like, what the fuck? Who came up with ICE? That's just dumb. ICE stands for whatever they needed to spell ICE, because that's how government acronyms work now. Sorry, Trekyards, that comment was aimed at another comment who asked. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't actually know what ICE was till like 3-4 years ago. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I did enjoy this episode, but the recasting of Guinan was a huge mistake. It actually even pissed Sylvia off. So he's like, oh, we're going to see a DH Guinan when he's walking into 10 forward there. And it's like, okay, well, because I already seen it twice. And she's, oh my God, that pisses me off. What is this? So if you piss off the Admiral, you know you did something that fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You definitely fucked up if you pissed off the Admiral, because she's usually pretty laid back with that kind of stuff. So How does a rub of the neck by a punk man, the punk experience Spock from the original timeline? It could be Spock from Confederate timeline. Could be, but why would Spock be going back in time from the Confederate timeline when a human galaxy is, or a safe galaxy is a human galaxy? They don't like Vulcans. Anyway, whatever. Mark Lawrence, ice isn't too bright though. I came to my house to get my neighbor since he used to park his vehicle a little bit in front of my house. Okay, shit. Get 10K, $5. People keep asking the same things to you over and over. Ah, the life of a YouTube celebrity. Well, I'm not a celebrity, but thank you. Rios was 25 miles away, and Rafi said it will take an hour. In LA, 25 minutes. 25 miles would take half a day. Yeah. Wasn't really sure if it was even Guinan until I noticed no eyebrows. I know, right? He never set foot on my property, so why would they be at my house? I was able to butt my tongue and not call them morons while they were washing. Wasting my time at 6 a.m. Jesus Christ. I don't want to hear any ice stories because I don't care. Like, I get it. It's a real problem. And I feel bad for it, but man. Let's see. I just woke up and I'm glad I caught you, Cat. Thank you, Mark. Good morning. I don't know. Joseph, I'm not though, but thank you. Appreciate that. Well, Whoopi's age, I had a feeling they were going to be in the younger version, especially that she said about changing her look. Let's see. Considering Spock's father was executed on the steps of the Vulcan Science Directorate in front of him and his mother, I doubt the Confederation held Vulcans in high esteem. It's a perfect answer to that question. Thank you, General Grievous. Not only that, but they cut his ears off. His ears were hanging in front of the skull. So something similar could have happened to the punk from Confederation timeline, though, so the logic is flawed. Oh, absolutely. I mean, anything could have happened to this guy, but it was obviously intended to be a reference to Kirk and Spock, though, for the Star Trek fans. So take it for what you want. If you don't think that's what it was, then fine. All the more power to you. However, 90% of everybody watching this thinks it was a reference to Kirk and Spock. So Kit 10K, $5. Damn it, break's over. Gotta go. Cap, later. See you later, Kit. RCMP seemed cool. Nice hats. Jesus Christ. 2003. Before that, the U.S. just had Border Patrol. Yeah, okay. So they haven't been around long. Okay, that makes sense. It is because in the trailer I saw the actress in the past, but I wonder if that was saving money with the same actress just jumping in. I just figured the punk rocker was just fan service. It got a chuckle from me. It absolutely was fan service until Guinan didn't recognize Picard, and then you're like, wait a minute. Cat, maybe as Picard chopped off Sarek's ears, he said, "Cheers, big ears," and laughed maniacally. That's funny. The Ronin, $5. You know, no matter what the time nonsense, it's fun to see the punk has learned to be a little more respectful of others when asked. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Most Trek alternative timelines make no sense, as you would not see the same people existing, but in different roles. Go back in time and make a big change, and a century later you have different people. Yes, especially mirror universe type shit. Like, you wouldn't have the same people, the same ship designs, because the people that designed that style of ship would have been, their grandfather would have been killed, so they never would have been born, so the ships would look totally different. There's a whole bunch of shit like that. Yeah, I totally agree. Guinan recognized Picard's name. Well, Mark, I don't think she did. I think it's just because he finally told her his name, Where earlier she said, you can tell me all this other information, but you can't even tell me your name. And he's like, well, I don't want to fuck with the time thing and whatever. So I think it was just a matter of her trusting him at that point. Like, oh, you're that desperate that you're telling me your name, even though it's going against your guide, your rules. So I don't necessarily think he recognized her name, but I could be wrong on that. It's just my feeling. I don't get why they just don't give her... I don't get why they just didn't have her know Picard, give him advice and help him. They seem to make every character angry and upset. I kind of agree. It would have been easy just to say, yeah, I remember. What's up? Anyways, I'll leave you guys to debating the finer points of time travel and timelines. I'm off to watch Buck Rogers. P.S. I heard George Clooney wants to do a remake. Ooh. No, Guinan recognized Picard's name, or rather, it triggered her time-sensing ability. I'd be down with it triggering her time-sensing ability. That's what I initially said earlier in this live stream. But, yeah. The best thing about the punk is that his character now has a growth arc, which is more than I can say for most characters in Discovery. Wow. Wow. Is the time sickness thing new to Star Trek? Yes. First time we're hearing about it. Didn't she meet him when Data's head was found? Oh my god. Yeah, so a lot of problems with this episode. However, I did enjoy it. It is the weakest out of the 4, I think, so far for the season, but it doesn't take anything away from it, really. There's a few things that I think were a little heavy-handed, and a few little time travel-y things that, time travel is difficult to wrap your head around at the best of times, and you're writing for it. I can give the writers some slack that they maybe just... Putting Kirk Thatcher in there as the punk again would be funny. Cool, nice little nod, little fan service. All right, move on. They didn't even think about it. I would buy that, but... Eric Skeleton, $5. Since this episode was following Star Trek Save the Whales, I didn't see a difference between a mean ICE agent and a dickish naval security officer. That was one officer. It wasn't the whole layered thick shit of, holy shit, look how many people they arrested. Holy shit, these guys are... It was, I can't even remember the fucking lines now, but it was so, layered on thick. Yeah, we get it. Are they evil? I don't know. I think they're trying to do the right thing. They probably don't really go about it the right way. It's abuse of power, I'm sure. But, wow, it was really laid on thick. Punk on the bus, yeah, white male, not so tough anymore. Oh, weakling. Oh, wow. Just go dig up Data's head. He can help. The Junkman, $2. Why didn't Guinan know who Picard was? Guys, I want you to go over to the Junkman's channel on YouTube and find the latest video and just comment on it. But something negative. Let's throw some negativity Junkman's way for that super chat that he knows is going to bother me. I'm just kidding, don't do that. Junkman's a great guy. Fun channel, great videos. Go subscribe to the Junkman. And thank you for the super chat, Junkman. You know I had to read that. Yeah, bastard. Sorry, I had to. Power 543. So what did you think of Raffi and 709? We're done answering the Guinan stuff. Raffi and 709, 7 was funny. Raffi's like, I just hate everything. Yeah, and you hide it so well. Like, they had some really good moments for sure. Um, the car chase thing was a bit much though, so I'll leave it at that. Jonathan Earl, $10. Oh, before I read your comment, Jonathan Earl, I want to talk to Samuel for a second. He says, I'm in bed, which is kinky and weird and perverted. No, don't leave, Samuel. I see you still there. Hold on, I want to say one thing so I don't forget about it tomorrow. Remember in episode 1 of this where Picard is giving the speech to Starfleet and he says, my ancestor so-and-so Picard was one of the first to explore the galaxy. That girl at the end of the episode who was drinking tea and reading a Dixon Hill novel, in the subtitles says her name's, well, it says she's a Picard. So I think she's the one that they're referring to. So that this Europa mission is going to be an important thing. I just wanted to put that out there so that I don't forget. Sanctuary district should be under a highway bridge, like the real U.S. border. So don't they just have to get to the bus to stop, and they can beam Rios away? I mean, if they can lock onto his biosigns from there, how are they going to distinguish him from a bus full of other people? A Saucy Puppet Show says, I didn't enjoy this episode as much as the first 3, but it was still pretty good. Even the social commentary was a little heavy-handed. The punk on the bus was a fun callback. Yeah, that's a good summation for me as well. Hazraz, I like that. The time ripples thing. Sure, I'll accept that. That would explain the punk being there as well as her having never meeting Picard. Okay, fine. You know what? The whole argument's done. You're absolutely right. She absolutely did not meet Picard in this timeline. The punk thing is just it's a fun little thing. Done. I'm not even going to argue about it anymore. I'm not going to bring it up tomorrow when we do the full live review. Done talking about it. Maybe it makes him want kids. We get mini Picards. Maybe. According to Tom Paris. Wow. Show never mentions the girl isn't Picard. It doesn't. But that'll be next episode. You'll find out who she is. Yeah, all the time things are fine. She doesn't know Picard because that never happened in this reality. Boom, boom, problem solved. The punk, it's just a funny little thing that happened. Time ripples. Time hasn't settled itself yet. Perfectly, that's a great explanation. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. I'm done. There we go. I got it all out of me tonight. It's done. Samuel can talk about it tomorrow. I'm just going to sit back, cross my arms, throw out my feet, and be like, time travel. Time problems, what? It's fine. It's not even the right Guinan. She looks totally different, but hey, that's just me. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I'm done. Throwing up my hands, done. Yeah, I can imagine the next episode Gerardi will write on a whiteboard everything that has potentially happened in a clear diagram, like a good engineer she is. That would be great. Please explain it to the audience. Okay, so theories on why Q's snap didn't work at the end. Time ripples. He's affected by the timeline somehow because time ripples. It hasn't settled yet. So they made a point that he didn't seem like himself. He seemed off. He seemed deranged, not healthy. I think that plays a lot into it. I think that's why he has Picard helping him. He needs to change something to save himself and the continuum. But I don't... And I think this could be a result of it. Like, things are changing rapidly, and it needs to be fixed. And he knows nobody better to fix things than Picard and his crew, which really Riker and everybody else should be here instead. But hey. Power 543. Yes, don't mention it again. Done. Talk about everything else. Done. Go. Yeah, pretty much. Great job tonight. Enjoyed the live chat. Looking forward to tomorrow's review. Yes, that'll be at, I don't know if it'll be at 4 or 4:30. I don't know what time Samuel wants to do it, so. General Grievous, $2. Q-Snap didn't work. He gave Soon the blue vial. Oh, his impotent finger snaps. He needs the Viagra. The heavy-handed politics is to be expected by Hollywood writers these days. Just got to roll with it and enjoy the rest of the show. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe the Picard writers never watched Star Trek TNG. That's not true, especially for season 2. They've got Michael Kuda on board. They've got Doug Drexler. They've got a whole bunch of people that worked on original TNG. So absolutely everything will be covered. Let's make Guinan a different person and explain a way that we forgot about times around. Just think of it as a discount Star Trek Time Lords. It makes life way easier. That is all I will say. She mentioned she can change. Yeah. Well, guys, 118 likes. We have 150 people watching. Can we get to 130 likes? Another 12 likes would be awesome. If you guys want to hit that like button now, I'd really appreciate it. A couple more super chats would be awesome as well. I know we're not at the 2-hour mark, but guys, I am... Squadron course, $2. We could talk about dilithium fuel. Just kidding. Ooh. Ooh. Sent another PayPal. All right. Let's see what we got going on PayPal wise. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, load. There you go. Joseph Brooks throws in $5. If that Q was a Picard ancestor, maybe Q was trying to remove Jean-Luc from the time stream to save reality, but he couldn't actually do it because the Guardian is protecting Picard's fate. I don't know why Q would be trying to remove Jean-Luc from the timeline. He likes Jean-Luc. So, don't buy that. Unless I just... Maybe you have to explain it a bit better. I don't know. Pick something you want to touch on from the episode. I've talked about everything. Yeah, it's one thing that bothers me is how the Lost Serena doesn't have the power to have a heater on, but it can cloak. The Chateau Picard thing was really cool, that the Nazis used it as a command center in World War II. But why is it still abandoned in 2024? I mean, it's been 100 years or so, he said. So, well, it hasn't been quite 100 years if the Nazis were using it, but close enough. Anyway, like, move back in, guys. I know you're in England, and England's great and all, but I'm sure the weather's nicer in France. So, yeah, anyway. Save the cheerleader. Save the world. Why is... no one in France hears or sees a giant ship crash. No, they're in France. They're all too busy making love. Video awesome. The timeline explanation about Guinan and not knowing Picard can't be true. She remembered meeting Picard in yesterday's Enterprise, even though it was time to know from Fox. Area 51, $5. The Q snap didn't work. The female Q would have showed up and said, "It's okay, it happens to lots of guys." That's funny. Yeah, Dreamer out there, $2. There's a lot of empty France today. It makes sense. Your lightsaber is a Shoto. Oh, you're talking to Fleetpaw. All right. I'm pretty much done, guys. If that's cool with you guys. We'll be talking about this a lot tomorrow. It's probably going to be a longer live. I don't want to talk about the time issue again, but I'm going to have to tomorrow. those cameras are moderating everywhere today. Doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, I know, but let's see. What did you think of Halo? I didn't watch Halo. I've only seen a trailer for it. Is it out today? I haven't seen it yet, so that's what I thought about. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it there. This has been a good live. We had 150 likes, which is awesome. So, Trekyards and talk about. Oh my god. Maybe, yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. So, thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a good night. Tune in tomorrow, probably 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if not 4:30, for the live full review breakdown and discussion. And yeah, the edited review will be up earlier in the afternoon, probably around 2 Eastern Standard Time. So check that out as well. And we got some good videos coming this weekend talking about time travel and time travel issues, which was already filmed. That's another reason I've already talked about it today quite a bit. So that video will be there, and everybody can complain in the comment section. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So until then, live long and prosper. Bye, guys.